Breaking news. Mamdani moves mayor's office under children's hospital. Wow, he really learned from the best, didn't he? Breaking news. New York City Mayor-elect Mamdani plans to jail ICE agents. Wow, insurrecting against the government. Damn, he really learns from the best. Mamdani just released a brand new advertisement. Thank you, New York. Together we made history. So let's see what he has to say, because people are really mad about this ad, and not just the Republicans. Actually, it's the Democrats that he scammed.
Good morning, New York City. Thank you. Last night we made history, and today we begin the work of making a new administration. Welcome to the transition. This is the period over the next few months where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign, to make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves.
How's that?
As we prepare to govern, we'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda. People like deputy mayors who oversee entire areas of government, and the commissioners who carry out the critical work of city agencies. These appointments—
By complete coincidence, they're all Muslim. It's just a coincidence. Okay, it's obviously he's not like racist or anything. All right, he doesn't want to smite the kafar at the neck like it says in the Quran. It's a coincidence. And if you notice anything, you are being Islamophobic, and Zohran Mamdani's aunt did not die for Islamophobia.
This will be driven by—
In fact, she didn't die.
excellence, integrity—
In fact, she never existed.
and a hunger to solve old problems with new solutions. Talking to organizers on the front lines of the fight to improve our city, government veterans with proven track records, policy experts from around the country and the world.
Bro, you ran a campaign, you're the mayor of the city, and you don't have a policy plan?
And working people who know better than anyone what our neighborhoods deserve. And this will be a period, like the campaign we ran and the city hall to come, defined by transparency. Because New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust.
New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust. Yes, I did do a collaboration with Saj Mahaj, or whatever his name is, a co-conspirator of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. But actually, that's cool. I'm actually pro-gay rights and also pro the execution of gays. Don't ask questions. It all makes sense.
On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day, and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing.
Uh-oh, he has one more thing. All right, what's he gonna say? Let's see if he pisses everyone off.
Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again.
I need your donations. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. His dream for the future of the country and the city and you know, redistributing the wealth. Well, how's he gonna get the money to redistribute it? Well, before he takes it from you, offer up as much as you can.
This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment.
Bro, he's like, dude, this is crazy. He gets elected, he immediately starts asking for money. I've never even seen something like this.
And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com. Now let's get to work.
Yeah, so obviously everyone's pissed off at this, even his own voter base. Like, even the leftoids, they're like, but wait a second. I thought electing this guy would give me free money. He wants my free money? Welcome to communism, dumb fuck. You played yourself. Anyway, Donald Trump decided that he's going to be ramping up the rhetoric against radical Islam.
The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
I'm really glad that someone's actually talking about it, because for some reason, no one really wants to. And you could look this up for yourself in case you were unaware, but if you look at the updated Christian population table in the Middle East areas, Israel, 1950 at 35,000 Christians, now has almost 200,000 Christians. The West Bank in 1950 at 51,000, now 45,000. Gaza had 3,000, now has 1,400. Lebanon had 600,000, now has 400,000. Syria had 300,000, now 150,000. Iraq had 250,000, now 100,000. Suspiciously enough, in essentially all of the Islamic countries in the Middle East, the Christian population has went down by 50% or more. In fact, the only place in all of the Middle East where the actual Christian population increased by 400% was Israel. Every other country killed Christians, mass massacred them. So anyway, pretty diabolical if you ask me. I'm really glad people like Trump are actually talking about this, because there is something radical going on regarding, let's just say, world domination or something of the sort. Anyway, Black Conservative Perspective just made a video talking about how Zohran Mamdani rug pulled his voters. And everyone's really mad at him. Everyone's mad at him. Even the leftoids. Even the leftoids are like, wait a second. But I thought I was going to get free stuff. I didn't think you wanted me to give you free stuff. And the crash outs are diabolical and totally deserved.
Mamdani, oh my God, this is comunista.
Comunista, cook him, abuela.
This is socialista comunista. Me, I like the other guy, no Mamdani. Como, maybe a little bit, no. I like it, courage.
Are you a Democrat?
It's so sad because like they had no chance.
Me? No.
No.
There's 4 years so New York is destruction. And the bus, lot of people no pay. Me never pay all the time.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's an entire system based on retards taking money from the people that earn it and giving it to the people that didn't earn it, aren't legal in the country. Based abuela.
I respect the line.
All right. ICE, don't deport this one. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm kidding. Look, you're here. If you're here legally, based as fuck, thank you for your contribution to society. If you're here illegally, get the hell out.
He win, by the way?
He won.
They chose the knucklehead, so we're gonna pay for it.
What happens if
Every small business owner hates him. You have to understand, the people that voted for him were the college kids that never actually worked in their life. That's who voted for him. The illegals voted for him because he's going to protect it, and they're in a place where you don't need ID to vote. So the illegals all voted for him. The college kids voted for him because they're retarded, and they were taught to think about the poor instead of actually being the poor. And then you have the actual business owners that are all going to get obliterated because he wants to open free grocery stores. Who's going to buy from your little business if you can get it from big government? Well, you're going to go out of business, you're going to sell it, and you know who's going to buy your business? You know who's going to buy your store? The government. That's communism. Communism is designed to destroy and eradicate everything, have it all controlled by the state. This is fascism.
opens up the government-run grocery stores?
I'm not with it.
Oh, you don't like the government?
No.
$30
Of course he doesn't like it. He's going out of business.
minimum wage. Can you explain how that might affect businesses?
On the hell, it's over.
How are they gonna make
It's like little businesses can't ever pay for workers anymore. Obviously, minimum wage is really low, but you have to look at it from the perspective of everybody. And that's why the socialist Mamdani movement is completely retarded and can never work. He just says nebulous things like free things for everyone, free stores and free buses. But who's paying for the stuff? Who's paying for the buses? Who's paying for the bus drivers? Who's paying for the gas? We are. All right, up the minimum wage. Well, who's paying that minimum wage? And realistically, this is actual retard utopia, where none of them actually have any fundamental understanding of how the economy or life works. They're all college kids that voted for this guy because he's cool. He's cool, and he smiles, and he's nice, and his opponent's a sex offender or something. And so we're going to vote for this guy because he wants free things, and he has empathy for the immigrants that are here illegally and stealing our country.
Payroll. It's just about all the policy that he tried to do, raising the workers and the taxes. It's not good.
The minimum wage doesn't help the worker. It just helps the system. Pay more money, more taxes, prices go up.
overnight
Yup.
we'll go out of business?
So I'm in a blue state, I'm sorry, but I've been red my whole life. Democrats have always ruined, steal, rob, and lie.
Any thoughts on having him for 4 years?
What I can do is just swallow and try to face it, but it's not easy.
We're cooked. We're on the way to becoming a communist
The
state.
city's in trouble. We're in trouble.
Good luck.
Boy.
Yeah, people not happy.
So we got to continue our coverage of New York City electing a radical socialist to be their next mayor. Okay, I think that this is the downfall of New York City.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna see how this socialist experiment works, but I think it's gonna work out the same way that it worked out in Portland,
Everywhere else.
Seattle, Oakland, San Francisco, Chicago.
Cuba, Venezuela.
Especially Chicago, because Zohran Mamdani reminds me the most of Brandon Johnson, right?
I think he's much smarter than Brandon Johnson. I think Brandon Johnson is just a complete retard. And he's like, no, actually, we shouldn't punish the criminals. Actually, it's the white people's fault that black people are committing more crimes. That's like Brandon Johnson. He's just a retard. Zohran Mamdani is a very talented politician, no doubt in my mind. And I think it's a giant psyop to import, 1 million more Muslims into New York City, and they'll all vote, and they will never lose another election, ever. I think that's the plan. I think it's a lot more nefarious than you might think.
He came in with the same socialist promises, right? But, I mean, Zohran is more radical than Brandon Johnson. Again,
Yeah.
regardless, my point is that a lot of these things that Zohran is promising is not going to happen, right? And people
True.
are going to learn the hard way that the things that do happen...
No, they're not gonna. No. They're not gonna happen, and he's gonna blame Trump. and his voters are retarded, and they'll believe him.
Are probably going to be bad, right? It's going to be terrible.
Yeah, so I predicted this in the last time I talked about it, but Zohran Mamdani, I am predicting the rape rate to triple over the next 4 years in New York City. Maybe only double, because Trump is ultimately going to be the president, and he's going to prevent immigration. But maybe only double. But we're getting there.
All
they already had anti-Semitic hate crimes in New York since he was elected. 2 days ago, there were already anti-Semitic hate crimes happening in New York. Like, bro, what are we doing?
Free stuff that this guy offered to.
And I don't mean anti-Semitism like the way it's used online. It's like when someone criticizes Israel, you just call them an anti-Semite or whatever. No, I mean like vandalizing Jewish schools and drawing swastikas on them and beating up Jews in public. Like that's more anti-Semitic. That's kind of what I'm referring to. Not just like, criticizing Israel on the internet and stuff.
His voters, yeah, that's probably not going to end up happening. And if it does happen, it's not going to be a good thing, okay? Because Zohran is already rug pulling his voters, right? His followers, his fans, who, again, were promised that, hey, once I'm elected, everything is going to be free.
That's right. Except donate money to me. That's
getting
right,
free
baby.
Stuff.
His first video. Give me free stuff, actually.
Costs money, right? Apparently, because Zohran Mamdani is now begging his followers for money in order to help fund his transition team so that they can
And honestly, it's just amazing. You guys are so pathetic. Everyone that voted for this guy, you guys suck, dude.
make stuff free. Yes, you can't make this stuff up. Zohran Mamdani is saying, if you want to get free stuff, it's going to cost, right? You got to pay me. You got to give me some money in order to get free stuff. Take a look.
Good morning, New York City. Thank you. Last night we made history. And today, we begin the work of making a new administration. Welcome to the transition.
Bro, this smile is so goofy because it's so
This
fake.
is the period over the next few months where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign. To make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves. As we prepare to govern, we'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda. People like deputy mayors who oversee entire areas of government and the commissioners who carry out the critical work of city agencies. These appointments will be driven by excellence, integrity, and hunger to solve old problems with new solutions.
Also, everyone hired is named Mohammed. Pay no attention to that.
Talking to organizers on the front lines of the fight to improve our city, government veterans with proven track records, policy experts from around the country and the world, and working people who know better than anyone what our neighborhoods deserve. And this will be a period, like the campaign we ran in the city hall.
Now give me money!
Defined by
Give me money! Give me the money!
Give
me the money!
On January 1st, I will be your mayor.
Yeah.
New day and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing.
Uh-oh.
Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money?
No.
You can start again. This transition requires
Give me
staff,
money.
research, and an infrastructure that can meet this
Absolutely
moment.
diabolical.
And it will be made
Dude, it's crazy that people go to college to become complete retard lobotomites. Like, you go to college and the professors are like, yeah, actually, communism is good. Capitalism is the root of evil. And these motherfuckers believe it. Is that not crazy? Like, is that not insane? Like, do they not think for themselves? Like, what are we doing?
possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com. Now let's get to work.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
That to me
Here we
kinda seemed
are.
like an SNL skit, right? I mean, it's like, is this real life? This socialist who literally campaigned on making everything free. All you got to do, just make me mayor, right? Once you elect me, everything
will be free.
Okay,
dude, and people believe it. It's like here's the step guide on how to get political power in a democratic country. All right, so step 1, promise free shit. That's all the steps. That was all of the I've just told you all of the steps. Right? You go in there, you promise free shit, you get elected. And this guy figured it out. And he figured out the hack.
But apparently free stuff costs, right? Free stuff ain't free.
Yeah,
right?
true. No
Because
such thing
you
as
gotta
free
donate
stuff.
to Zohran Mamdani. You got to give him some money. You got to pay his transition team and him in order to get the free stuff that he promised you. It's almost as if, again, the free stuff ain't really free, right? It's not really free. But, again, if these voters, if Zohran Mamdani voters were actually, economically literate, if they actually understood.
No, they're not. They went to college. That's how you know they're retarded. That's how you know they're retarded. And honestly, they will never be as not retarded as a plumber. All right, you get a dude that goes and he knows how to fix your toilet. That dude is worth inherently more to society than someone who has a degree in underwater surprise butt sex. That guy will never ever do anything of use in his life. In fact, the only thing he could do with that degree is teach more people underwater surprise butt sex. And that's the pyramid scheme of colleges. They get degrees that you can't do anything with to become professors to teach more people to get that same degree that they also can't do anything with, except teach more people. the secrets of underwater surprise butt sex. And that's realistically what we're looking at here. We're looking at a hyper irrelevant group of people who are graduating colleges with massive debts. They all are indebted $200,000 to college for a degree in fuck all. And now these guys are voting. They're voting for this guy who's promising them free stuff. And also, he's politically correct. Oh my God, he even cried about Islamophobia. So all the male feminists gotta love him because he cries just like they do. It's diabolical. It's a diabolical scheme.
How the world works, how things actually work, then they wouldn't be socialists, right? They're only socialists because they don't understand a damn thing and they don't know a damn thing, okay? I'm surprised that Zohran Mamdani didn't just go to Alex Soros, okay, who's a billionaire.
Which
right?
he did.
The same billionaires that these socialists claim that they want to tax out of existence, right? They don't think should exist. Why did he go to Alex Soros and tell him, hey, fund my campaign, fund my transition so my poor followers, right, my poor voters won't have to donate to my transition team, right? They don't have to donate in order to make stuff free. It's kind of funny how that works, okay? It's kind of funny how that works. He could have just went to his billionaire supporters and just, asked them for the money, but apparently he rather asked these poor people who are apparently struggling so much that they need free everything for the money instead. I'm telling you guys, socialism is the most lucrative grift in this country. Right? The easiest way to become a millionaire is to pretend like...
The easiest way to become a millionaire is to say that billionaires are bad.
You're against capitalism and the billionaires, right?
Yep.
While...
Look at Hassan Piker. When he's not shocking his dog, he's making believe he's a socialist, wearing Gucci clothes and designer shit in his mansion in LA, driving his $300,000 Porsche Taycan. All right? That dude is a socialist who hates rich people.
Complaining about it on their platforms, right? Using a billionaire.
And honestly, the youth will follow because the youth is largely retarded and they think that this is actually a solution. And it's crazy because there is obviously like a housing issue. There is a housing crisis. The economy could definitely use a lot of help. It really can. And I'm not denying that. It absolutely needs his help. That said, the solution isn't promising free stuff that just doesn't do anything, but to the retard, it does. And, the retard is going to be like, well, if it's literally that easy, just make all the things free, why isn't the actual current government structure doing it? And they give them the answer. See, that's the beauty. They have the answer ready. It's the billionaires. There are billionaires that are taking all of this money. That's why they're not willing to do it. But I am not like them. I am willing to do it. And that's the grift. The grift is pointing to something that's, cringe in society and then putting the blame on the true enemy. And that's basically how every single grift works. It really is. I'm not even exaggerating. You look at someone like Candace Owens, who saw Charlie Kirk get assassinated. The first thing she did was blame Israel. When we know the reality is that it was a radical leftist that killed him, and it was celebrated by radical leftists. And she immediately, with zero evidence, blamed Israel. Then she blamed Trump. She blamed Turning Point USA for betraying him. She implied that his own wife was in on the assassination. Like, dude, what are we doing? Unless there's an agenda. And that's kind of what we're seeing here on a massive scale.
Billionaires' platform to bitch and complain about billionaires is the easiest way for a socialist to become a millionaire because they damn sure are not going to get a job. They're not going to start a real business. They're not going to actually produce anything.
Not going to contribute anything meaningful to society. The best way for socialists to become a millionaire is to say you hate millionaires.
Of value for society in order to, make money, right? No. They have to use the billionaires' platform to become millionaires and to get elected in the office and then to turn around and to basically campaign on taking down the system that allowed them to become millionaires and billionaires in the first place, right?
Yeah, again, Hassan Piker is the best example. He works for Amazon. He works for Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. He literally works for the most hyper-capitalist company on the face of the earth. And he's preaching socialism. Like, you see the retard situation.
And it's amazing how that works. The socialist grift, I don't understand why people have not come to this realization. The socialist grift is the most lucrative grift in the world. There's nothing more lucrative than being a socialist. It's nothing easier than running on free everything and that the white man is the cause of all our problems. There's nothing easier than that.
I mean, to be fair, that's what it used to be. I feel like we're moving into blame the Jews for everything. Like, it's always this twist. Like, do you blame the white guy or do you blame the Jews? These are the two sides of the same coin. That's right. Why is there massive degeneracy on the left? The Jews. Why are college kids retarded and voting for radical Muslims? Well, it's probably the Jews. And basically, you could go through the list. Go through the list. Everything's the Jews. It's either the Jews or the white man, or the billionaires. If you're being lame, okay, I'm gonna break this down in a better way. So if you are on the left, it's billionaires that are at fault. If you're on the radical left, it's specifically white billionaires that are at fault, or all white people broadly. If you're on the right, you know, for the most part, there's not so much of a victim shit. But if you're on the far right, it's very often just the Jews for inventing dinosaurs. Yeah, the Jews invented dinosaurs to trick the Christians into thinking that there isn't God or something. Candace Owens literally said that to bring her up again. So realistically, it's pretty funny because neither, in my opinion, neither billionaires nor Israel are even close to the top 10 issues in America. And yet they are the entire discussion topic every single time.
Hey, at the very least, Zohran Mamdani, his transition team, the team that's going to make everything free, they appear to be in good hands, right? Because his transition team is all women, right? All women on his transition team, which is something that is being noted and praised by the woke revolutionaries.
Listen to this. Mamdani, the guy who just got elected mayor of New York City, dropped his transition team, and it's all women. Yep.
That's how we know we're cooked. That's how we know we're cooked, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The radical liberal white woman, the end of civilization.
Every single one. And honestly, it's pretty badass. Alana Leopold's running point as executive director. He's got co-chairs like Maria Torres-Springer,
Goodbye, New
who
York.
used to be first deputy mayor, Lena Khan from the
Neo-London.
FTC, Chris Bonilla from United Way, and Melanie Hartzog, who's a deputy mayor for Health and Human Services. So essentially a lineup of women who know what the hell they're doing.
Well, they are women.
He wants this team to help launch what he's calling the city's most ambitious policy platform in a generation. And that's a pretty bold statement. His campaign promises were wide.
It's a bold statement. It's just not a bold reality because he's not actually doing anything. He's just promising things.
But in the best way. City-run grocery stores, free buses, universal childcare.
These are horrible things for the most part. Free buses? Who's paying for that? Who's paying for the buses? Who's paying the bus driver? Free grocery stores? What's that happening?
A rent freeze on state.
Rent freeze is not a good thing. People say it's a good thing because it means their rent can't go up, but people don't realize that that means that the actual landlords don't actually have to fix your shit. They don't have to go into your apartment at all to do anything or maintain anything.
Stabilized apartment. All paid for by taxing the rich and corporations that have been milking the system.
The people that earn a living, she means. Because what if the rich leaves? Have you ever considered that? What if the rich leaves New York? Who are you taxing next? The middle class? The working class?
So yeah, he's swinging big. He's also breaking a ton of records.
And this is like the classic liberal white woman mentality. Like classically liberal white woman. It's like, I have so much empathy for all of these things. I am actually going to destroy the city and the future in order to make the things that I care about, which are also kind of toxic to me, work better. This is the liberal white woman brainworm.
He's the first Muslim mayor, the first Asian, the first African-born mayor of New York, and the youngest in over 100 years.
Why isn't he called like a New Yorker ever? Have you ever noticed that no one's ever calling him like a New Yorker or an American? Weird.
This dude is literally rewriting the city's political history before he even takes office. He's got 57 days to pull it all together, and he's acting like he's already on the clock, which honestly, he kind of is. The all-female team, it's not just about optics either. It's a statement.
Yep, that's his voter base. Highly empathetic, kind of illogical, emotionally charged, college-aged liberal white women. Correct. That is a statement.
It's saying, I'm not here to play by the same old boys club rules. And it's landing. People are paying attention.
Oh, people are paying attention.
The board especially.
Yep.
That's huge. She's been one of the biggest names in antitrust and corporate accountability. And it says a lot about how serious he is about actually taking on power instead of just talking about it. But of course, this isn't going to be smooth sailing.
Taking on power means let the criminals out of jail.
The guy's got a massive bureaucracy to deal with, a ton of big promises, and a political climate that's already throwing punches. Of course, our president's out here threatening to withhold federal funding from New York because of...
He never did said that. He said that he would fund them up until the law, but not more than the law requires, which is not a threat of withholding.
Of course he is. And Mamdani's already had to deal with disgusting Islamophobic attacks.
The liberal white woman agenda, once again, completely and utterly undefeated, and all of this Islamophobia is starting to piss me off. Me and Zohran Mamdani's aunt, we will stand together against Islamophobia. Nothing made me as Islamophobic as every time I think about 9/11 or any of the 48,700 Islamic terrorist attacks since 9/11. I personally am radically offended by all the Islamophobia that comes from the 48,000 terrorist attacks.
Throughout his campaign, yet somehow he's still out here, calm, focused, with that beautiful smile, talking about compassion and capability instead of fear.
Yes! I need to elect someone to fix our financial crisis with compassion.
What a concept. Anyways, this all-women transition team is more than a headline. It's a signal. It's him saying, this is how we start over. This is what it looks like when power shifts hands and when the people taking the wheel actually give a damn.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, no.
We'll see.
Zohran Mamdani's transition team is actually a sign that this experiment is going to be an absolute disaster.
Correct.
And the reason why you know this is because of the fact that
it's all women. You know it because it's all women. It's literally a DEI team.
The transition team is all female.
Correct.
There's no way, there's absolutely no way that his transition team, I don't know what the positions are and what they're supposed to do, but there's absolutely no way that women were the most qualified, right? They all were the most qualified.
Jumping over his words.
Jobs in those positions and that.
Yeah, no, that's how you know it's bullshit, really. Yeah, like, honestly, it's insane. Like, imagine the roles reversed and it was all men. People would lose their shit. But now because it's women, it's fine.
No man had the qualifications to be a part of the transition team. No, that tells you that he's picking people, that his administration is led by wokeness, right?
Completely.
That radical socialists, radical leftists, radical feminists, these are the people who will be calling the shots. They will be leading.
I mean, I wish that people woke up. You know, this guy got an endorsement from Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London. Like, we know the game. The game is, the facade is radical LGBT activism, wokeness, feminism. That's the grass. And the snake hiding in the grass is the infinite importation of a hostile culture that wants to destroy ours. Maybe not everyone in that culture, but some of them.
This administration, these are the policymakers, right? These are the people that are going to be in Zohran's ear.
That's right.
Which means that all of the woke extreme stuff that these people believe in is likely that that's what they're going to try to do. That's what they're
because he's playing to his base. He knows that is ultimately what his base stands for. His base stands for absolutely nothing except for random woke empty platitudes. Anyone that believes in free buses and free socialism and free groceries is retarded. So he's playing to that base of overly empathetic, largely, for the record, largely liberal white women, 81% liberal white women, and he also got 70% of the votes from foreigners. All he needs to do is keep playing to the liberal white women while he continues to import more foreigners that he will protect from the law. That's the strategy.
Going to try to implement during this guy's administration.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And again, we've seen how wokeness leads to disastrous outcomes.
Yeah.
Specifically when it comes to the issue of crime, right? Crime,
yeah,
homelessness, quality of
he basically said he wants to debunk the police. He wants to defund the police. He wants to abolish the prisons. Yeah, no, this dude's a nightmare. Nightmare for anyone that's a normal guy that wants to survive.
Living type issues. Yeah, wokeness is a disaster, right? An absolute disaster
because this is liberal white woman ideology. You have to be empathetic to the cruel, even though that is truly being cruel to the innocent.
Those issues specifically. So we're going to see, but the business community, the business community, they are scared. They're upset, and they're warning that they're going to leave, that people are going to leave. There's going to be a mass.
So who do you tax? If the billionaires leave, who do you tax? The working class.
Exodus of taxpayers from the city because they're not going to want to be a part of this socialist experiment that probably is going to turn New York City into Gotham City. I mean, it's basically already there, but this basically guarantees that New York is going to be a shithole that nobody's going to want to visit, that nobody's going to want to do business.
But you have to understand that that's the plan. The plan is to scare out the centrists and scare out the Republicans so you could import infinite illegals to completely control the city forever. This is colonization. Now, once you import and flood the place with illegals that, for the record, technically could vote because you don't need voter ID in New York, you are importing an underclass to vote for you forever. Forever. Where you siphon money off of the actual Americans that are working for it, which in New York is white people and Jews. So you siphon off the money from the people that are working for it to give it to the people that aren't and that quite literally shouldn't even be in the country.
Within probably a year or so. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Welcome back to The Exchange. Wall Street couldn't stop Mayor Mamdani. Now it has to work with him. That is the headline on a Wall Street Journal piece today following Mamdani's mayoral victory. In an exclusive interview, our own Diana Olick got to actually speak with one of Wall Street's heavyweights about Mamdani's potential policy impact, especially on real estate.
All right.
Diana, talk to us a little bit about your conversation with Barry Sternlicht.
Right. Well, Tom, I sat down for more than a half an hour just now with Barry Sternlicht, who is the chairman and CEO of Starwood Capital Group, and he had a lot to say about the Mamdani effect. But his message was clear, at least for commercial real estate. Democratic socialism does not work.
Obviously.
So maybe he'll learn from history. Maybe the millions that voted him won't realize that socialism's never worked anywhere on the planet Earth ever.
Actually, that's just because proper show wasn't tried yet. Because it can't even get to the point where you try it properly because they're too busy killing you to take your money. The reason why communism is considered an incitement of violence in the United States just by preaching communism, and these people should all be deported due to the Communist Enforcement Act, is because how do you get the billionaires to give you their money? They're not going to want to do it. So how do you get them to do it? You steal it. And what if they fight back and then prevent you? You kill them. It is an inherently radical, evil, anti-Bible ideology. It does not have biblical principles at all. Everyone likes saying, oh, well, Jesus would have been a socialist. Now, Jesus wouldn't have been a socialist. In the Bible, you actually own what you earn. That is a very fundamental concept. You give charity, all right? You give 10, 20% of whatever you make to charity. Absolutely, that's beautiful. But no, infinite taxation is theft.
And especially what we'll watch is safety and security. That's the number one thing. If people feel like their kids aren't safe on the streets, they will pull them out of school and they will leave.
Yeah.
And if he defunds the police or he doesn't give them the honor and prestige they deserve, I think the city's in for a really tough time. We have a big office here ourselves, and I mean, we'll see how this works, but the team in New York is for the first time saying maybe we should leave.
Damn.
And I asked him if he had contributed to the Cuomo campaign. He said no. I asked if he had spoken with Mamdani before the election. He also said no, but he said he does expect to see both people and business.
To be fair, I like the fact that Zohran won is the most obvious thing in the world. The candidates that they put up against him were complete retards, and honestly, and I'll be real, I don't think it has anything to do with Israel. A lot of people are saying it's the Free Palestine crowd. I don't even think so. I think that was a tiny bit of it. He fought for the foreigners and the retards, and that's why he won.
Businesses leave New York City.
Like, he found people that were struggling financially, and he just whispered in their ear, I will give you everything for free. Also, I have empathy. Also, transgenderism is really cool because you're sterilizing your own children, so I can import an underclass to society to outnumber you completely.
New York will survive. It survived de Blasio, but it's a shame it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets better, and that's coming from a business perspective. You know, I am a greater New York area person. This is an amazing city with a great vitality and great youth and energy, but the core issues are not.
Yep, that's who voted for him.
Not what he's focusing on. We need to increase housing. That's not going to happen easily, right? You need serious subsidies from the government. If they want us to work with unions, you know, the unions have to be more accommodative on their work laws and the wages and everything else. Otherwise, you can't add economically.
And this dude's just like, we'll make free houses. All right, dude.
He added that Starwood Capital, of course, has a presence here in New York City, and he said they were already talking about perhaps moving out. But there is just so much more in this interview. Just hear the full 30 minutes. You want to subscribe to the CNBC.
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at. The business community is leaving. The liberals are mad that it turns out to get free stuff, you actually have to pay for the free stuff, and now he wants infinite money. Infinite money jutsu, domain expansion, endless donations. And when that dries up, he just increases taxes to make life hell for everybody. That's right, baby. All you have to do is promise free stuff, and you win your elections if the voters are retards, which is what it is. Which is why absolutely the ultimate... And of course he has a full staff of women. Obviously, that's his entire base. All we need to do is simply remove the right for women to vote. Kidding. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.